What's up, ladies and germs? We're gonna get started here on time. Got a hard out at 3. If you want me to look at anything, let me know. Look at all the fun stuff. What's up, Karen? Joey is the moderator on YouTube. He is a god. He is an absolute god. GRT hasn't moved. I didn't even make a thumbnail. I'm too busy in the markets. I can't be bothered with thumbnails, bro. Galaxy, oh man, I gotta be careful what I say about Galaxy, but we can look at the chart. We can look at the chart for sure. 9 p.m. 9 p.m. You must be what, like New Zealand or something? Is that where you're at? Not to dox you. Yeah, Oklo, you know, kind of just like looking around just to see what's going on in various sectors. If there's anything I'm missing. Let me try to pull up get my stuff together here and we'll get started. Joey thumbnail. I don't have any inside baseball on Galaxy. It's just when you're given 80,000 BTC as an OTC company and you sell the way you're selling into the market, I don't think that is the best way to do things. But that's just me. I don't know all the details of the sale. I don't know if the individual came to them and said, hey, I need you to sell this as quickly as you can. It's just being a crypto company, you would think they would handle that a little bit better. But again, I don't know all the details, so I'm going to reserve my full opinion. But I think anybody in the OTC space looking at what's going on there is saying, like, what the hell are they doing? It's a suboptimal way of selling based on what I know. So look at anything, look at Galaxy, look at whatever you want. MOG, someone was asking about. It's kind of, for me, a lot of this stuff is looking at total book leverage versus individual positioning. Like maybe I might cut a position because I think I just have too much leverage on, like totally on the book, right? So anything past BTC is leverage. MOG is already leveraged ETH, right? So it's like, okay, I have a bunch of leveraged ETH on the book. If I think ETH is slowing down, maybe I trim, maybe I cut. That's a trading style. That's not like a longer term investing style. I don't even think I can get a better price on MOG later. I just caught a very good move. It was like 60% or whatever, just as an example. And yeah, like I don't think there's anything wrong with holding it. Same thing with Bonk, same thing with any of these. So we'll start with Galaxy and what's his name? Rojogan. I was going to call him something else, but this is a good looking chart. You know what I like? It's got everything, right? I mean, this is Rocket Lab before it broke out. This is BTC before it broke out. Rocket Lab has been a slam dunk home run trade. That's done excellent. And I think it's also important, I guess we're in crypto, we're looking at crypto charts, great. But I think it's important for me specifically to know, okay, what's going on in nuclear? What's going on in other commodities? What's going on in other hyper growth stuff? Like, how is the market trading these type of things right now? In a vacuum, this chart is phenomenal. Also, additionally, knowing that everything else that looks like this has already broken out, this is a huge laggard relative to the market. And to me, that gives it all the more reason that it's going to do well. Inverted head and shoulders, price above cloud. It's a crypto company. Crypto's hot right now, right? You can draw it however you want, right? It doesn't really matter to me. I think everybody gets the point here. Once you know the basic shape, take the high, take the low, you get the fib. This gives you a target, basically a 2x from here. We'll just call it even, right? Somewhere up there. What do the pivots look like? Pivots are pretty tight, not a lot of volatility. So it's got TA on its side. It's got like correlations on its side. It's got like businesses on its side. Crypto is hot right now. This is a great looking chart, great looking setup. Absolutely. Looks really good. Looks really, really good. Looks great on high time frames, low time frames. I have nothing to say against this. So, love it. Great recommendation. Great looking chart. Absolutely. For BTC, what's BTC up to? Again, this is like my North Star. If you are bearish BTC, you probably don't want to be trading alts. If you're turbo bullish BTC, you continue to love alts. If you are turbo bullish ETH BTC, you love alts here. If you love ETH BTC, you love leverage here. And then that's where people start getting into trouble, because they go, okay, ETH is bullish. I'm going to trade on page 56 of CoinMarketCap. And then I'm going to trade on page 300 of CoinMarketCap, right? And they just keep going. And they sort of lose the plot a little bit. And they don't realize the total book, total portfolio, not just positioning, but total portfolio positioning is leveraged well beyond anything that it looks like on the page. You know, we're talking like 12x ETH volatility or whatever. And ETH is already fairly volatile. So I would just keep that in mind. What was I doing with this? Send to back. Where are you? Boop. Okay. So BTC, I still think it's got a ways to go here. Similar to the Galaxy comments, there's a large miner from 2011, 80,000 BTC sent to Galaxy for sale. They've sent 40,000 of that already. Most of that I think has been sold. They sent another 40,000 over the past 24 hours. It's great that price hasn't gone down too much on that news. It's seemingly being absorbed. I don't think there's any reason to be bearish here, but seeing some of the slowdown, especially relative to ETH, makes sense. You've got TA favoring ETH BTC here, and you've got a fundamental supply unlock, right? Like that's a lot. That's 9 billion USD. ETFs are still flowing great, both on BTC and ETH. Pound for pound, you're getting a bigger effect on the ETH ETFs because it's a smaller market cap. So if you're getting about the same flows on a day-to-day basis, which we haven't, but yesterday we did, I think it was around 700 for both million. You're going to have an outsized effect there on ETH, right? Because it's more bang for your buck, smaller market cap. In any event, I think the next trade that I want to be, again, I don't care what anybody else does with their money, but I want to make sure I'm sized appropriately, leveraged appropriately, whatever, if I think this is going from 121 to 149, which is just the pivots, right? So we'll call it even 120 to 150. I think that's still in the cards here. I don't know how quickly that happens, but I like that we've broken out, held levels, consolidated. I like that the yearly pivots are being respected. That tells me that for whatever reason, the market knows that they're there, right? I don't know. Why did we stop at 79 3 times? I'm going to say the yearly pivot. Why did we stop at 121? I'm going to say the yearly pivot, right? Why are we targeting 150? I'm going to say the yearly pivot along with fibs. So all this based on TA makes sense to me. The pattern is still there. We're still breaking out. And you can see the Galaxy chart in this chart, right? It's the same chart, makes sense. What is the percentage move of this versus Galaxy, right? This is like a 25 to 40% move, whereas Galaxy is going to be an outsized move relative to that, right? That's going to be 2x. So again, book wide. Do you want your entire portfolio being this? Maybe not. Do you want an individual position that's decently sized? Picking up some Galaxy? Probably, if you think it's going to break out. So that's up to the individual. But One other way to do this is just leverage the base asset. So we're leveraging BTC with MSTR, MSTU, whatever, right? Just leverage outright. So I still like this. I still think this goes higher. It looks great. It's July. We have great numbers in July. So there's really no complaints here. It would be one thing if we're seeing sellers come to market and price just rolls over. It would be another thing if we're losing like 110, if we're losing 105, then I'd be a lot more nervous. But cloud looks great. Pattern looks great. There's still decent risk reward here. There's technicals for 150. You know, I don't have anything else to really say, and there's nothing really to knock here. Also in the same vein is stuff like this, which is Rocket Lab. And I don't care what the business is. It just so happens that, you know, probably the same people, like who trades NFTs? Probably the people trading ETH, probably the people trading meme coins, probably the people trading MSTU, right? Probably the people taking calls on MSTU. It's probably the same type of people and the same money. So my guess is, as this chart, again, you can see Bitcoin in this chart, you can see Galaxy in this chart, you can see many charts in this chart. As this starts to make its parabolic advance, you're going to have people looking to rotate, just as people now are looking to rotate into everything else, right? Chart still looks great, but on a risk reward basis, I don't see an entry here. I see like 60 to 65 from here max, but this is obviously parabolic, right? So I like seeing similar charts break the way you think they should and actually play out. You know, we were talking about Rocket Lab weeks ago. This just gives me confidence that BTC will follow to some degree. It may not, but I like seeing this. It fits my bias, right? We can also look at RGTI Rigetti is another one. If we're talking about, again, like crazy off the risk spectrum quantum stuff, this to me looks like the MSTR chart. I like that this is breaking higher. I don't know where this goes. I guess we could measure it. Take the high, take the low. So that's what, 26 to 22? So it feels to me like this is where the market is at right now. It's a very good sign. It's a good sign for ETH that IWM is reconsolidating. It's a good sign for coin and the miners that those things are reconsolidating. It's a good sign that this stuff's breaking out. And you have other stuff like this, which we've talked about weeks and weeks ago. This is Roblox, if you remember my butchering of the pronunciation. Like, this is insane. This is beyond parabolic, right? Beyond. But that's why when I'm looking at stuff like Figs and Rivian, this is the part on Figs and Rivian that I want to be a part of, right? That's the part of Hood that you just have to like be disciplined and consistent and say, okay, I know what could happen here. I know that there's a risk reward here that is outweighted for higher. It could take years, right? But if you are disciplined enough and confident enough, then you size that well enough, and you know you've got technicals on your side. In this case, here's another cup and handle at the top, right? Just add this to the list of things that are just exploding. And we can look at coin. I'll catch up with chat in a second. I like coin still. I don't love it. I like it. It's just, again, like coin and Galaxy. Is that where we're at? Do I really want to buy that stuff? I like coin the same way I like uranium. It's the same chart. It just so happens that that's what the market's trading. That's how the market is trading right now. It is breaking patterns higher in any fashion, right? So that's what you want to see if you're hoping to get momentum on your side. And I talked about Oklo just now on Twitter. Again, like, what more do you want from a chart? You're reconsolidating after this was a massive decline. This was a 70% down move this year that it's recovered from, right? And this looks like a cup and handle to me. It also looks like a invalidated Head and Shoulders, if I can find it. Right, little Head and Shoulders ish that got invalidated. So that looks great to me. Again, what's your percent move? What's your upside here? Like 2x plus. So that's the kind of stuff that I want to be looking at here, try to figure out where should I be rotating, like ETH, okay? So if you're in ETH leverage, you want maximum momentum that's consistent. This should be, as we're seeing, Bitcoin's up 2% in a day, ETH is up 8%, right? That's what you need. That's what you want to really be sure that you're in the right trade, right? You don't want to be sitting in ETH when it's going nowhere, when it's doing nothing. Who cares, right? I can just sit in Bitcoin and get that. I don't need to go to ETH. I'm in alts to just crank it to 11, you know? So we're at the first target here in ETH. My guess is we reconsolidate a little bit, similar to IWM, similar to the WGMI, similar to coin. All of these like charts have reconsolidated a little bit, starting to break higher. So I don't doubt that this keeps going. It's just, do you want to eat funding and volatility drag here? Even assuming you're right, do you want to eat funding and volatility drag? But if you're wrong, do you want to be eating funding and volatility drag? That's a personal question, But again, like total portfolio leverage, total portfolio risk, it might make sense for some people to reduce leverage here and then add leverage again on the breakout. I don't know. Some people hate doing that. Some people hate jumping in and out. There's obviously tax concerns for that, whatever, blah, 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 but just something to think about. I think RSI on the daily looks fine for ETH. It's when we get into the lower time frames. What's interesting is like the 12-hour, all I'm looking at is RSI. So we know we made a higher high in price. Okay, are we making a higher high in RSI? 12-hour, yes. 8-hour, yes. 6-hour, no. 4-hour, no. So I don't know how to read that necessarily. It's just conflicting, right? We don't have a bear div on the daily. Although if you want to talk about May 10th to today, that is a bear div. I don't know if the bear div police are going to come after me, but this is what I'm looking at. This level to this level is a weak bear div. So it would make sense to me to slow down a little bit, reconsolidate. We did pass the yearly pivot. That's good. I don't know. Maybe rebuys 3,000 if we get that low. It's just tough because you've got all these treasury companies buying as well. So I don't know how low we'd actually go on this. But even the candle for today, it's not exactly spinning top, but it's slowed down from the prior 2 days, right? Obviously. You're not getting any fractals here at all. You've got a support at 29.29. That's your trailing stop loss here. What is it on BTC? Anything? This was one of the reasons I was so excited the other day that we actually got this drop. I'm like, okay, finally, we're going to get a higher trailing stop loss. 115.662 is the trailing stop loss here on any longs. And then ads, it likes ads at 123. But you should have an opinion here on ETH. If you're trading anything, you should have an opinion on Bitcoin. This is the wrong cloud, but whatever. Just to level set. Okay, where do I want to be right now? What do I want to be trading? What kind of leverage? So if you've done well since 2,700 and you're on leverage and you're on like 5 to 10x leverage, maybe you trim a little bit, right? Just a suggestion. All right, let me catch up with chat. NNE, also nuclear. That one's also on my watch list. I don't hate it. I did look at it before the stream. Similar cup and handle, it's above the cloud. There's clearly a nuclear theme with government spending in the US. There's clearly a push for more nuclear reactors, more nuclear power for AI. So you've got dual tailwinds there. You've got businesses telling utilities, they need it. And then you've got government telling utilities that we're going to be buying it. It doesn't seem that this is bearish at all for anything. Now, I don't know the fundamentals of any of that stuff, but it looks good. It looks good. So I like that one. Big Bear AI. Yeah, I mean, you can't not see the cup and handle, right? So like, does this go to 30 is the question, which is another like Oklo style breakout. If you've done well on crypto stuff, you're looking for little, you want to rotate a little bit and you want to keep shooting your moonshot shot, then maybe it's stuff like this. But you're absolutely right. The cloud is fully bullish again. Fully bullish again. We'll take a look at Fartcoin. You got to be careful because this one undoubtedly will go to zero in a bear market. So have your fun while you can. It's bullish. Again, you got cup and handle stuff up here. Go for it. My secret wish is that everybody trading this on 100x leverage gets wiped out. That's my secret wish. I'm allowed to have that wish. Okay, I'm allowed to have thoughts like that. That's okay. Mog. What was I going to say about Mog? So we had this target which didn't get hit. It's still above the cloud. It still looks fine. Back to this momentum leverage idea. You buy Floki because you want a 30% move in a day. You buy Mog, you buy Whiff, you buy whatever because you want just endless up. So when it slows down, that slows down everything for everybody. So I'd be careful. I just be careful with this ultra hyper leverage stuff at the moment. If you like it for the cycle, there's no harm in that. I would just put it into a separate bucket. Say, okay, I'm holding this for the cycle. I'm gonna be smart about everything else, whatever. But my fear is that everybody is like looking at these meme coins. Any of them. Doge looks good here. Doge looks great. SHIB looks great. It's above the cloud. First time in a long time. Pepe still looks great. Bonk exploded, right? This is why, you don't need me to tell you this, but this is why you trade the meme coins for this 50, 60, 70% move. My fear is that it's a 200% move from June 22nd. My fear is that people are seeing this. They're like, okay, again, I'm going to go to page 56. I'm going to buy all these meme coins. I'm going to buy Floki. I'm going to buy Toshi. I'm going to buy whatever, right? Maybe it works out for them. Maybe it doesn't. Here's Brett. Brett also, like, why not, right? Why not this one? Why not? I'm more likely if I catch something like this, that's a clear shit coin, just take profit, rotate to something else. But that's me. I know that there's no target, but what are your thoughts around the pump TGE? I've got like you said, if there's no chart history, I have no powers here, I have nothing to say. Where's it even listed? Is my trading view just broken? It's either not listed yet or I don't know. I don't have anything to say about till there's a chart. RCAT, that's drones. Looks good. Looks like it's breaking out. This is, again, like, what else do you want from a chart? Yeah, did you catch the bottom? Probably not. but it looks good. You can't deny that. Chart's kind of a mess before 2019, but it's a new day. Little rounded bottom situation. Don't hate it. Don't hate it. Let's look at the miners real quick because someone's asking me. It looks to me like cores, for whatever reason, I don't understand the fundamentals here, but it's just trading like a dumpster fire. So if you're trading this, it's not based on technicals because, yeah, it's back at the Kijun. The thing's a mess, you know? Like this may work out at the end of the day. The merger may happen. I don't know. I don't know anything about anything, but this is not a chart where I get excited about buying. Wolf looks great. Fresh breakout. Again, like what else do you want? What else do you want? There's nothing negative to say about charts that look like this. Clean Spark, same deal. Above the cloud, IREN reconsolidating. This is what I'm talking about with ETH. This should go higher with IREN. It's a high and tight flag. It took 10 days to consolidate-ish. Looks good. Looks ready for more. Marathon, I'm holding some. Looks good. There's nothing not to like. I would be careful with WGMI here. It looks fine. It looks good. It's just that if it's got something you don't like in it, like cores, then maybe it makes more sense to buy a basket yourself of Wolf, CleanSpark, IREN, Mara, even Riot. Looks fine. Finally above the 3-day there. Bitfarms, if you're bold, if you like that W at the bottom, that's like it almost looks like they painted this, doesn't it? Like they painted it. I don't hate it. I don't hate it. I'm going to set an alert here at $1.14. I mean, it's already $1.07. Are we really like splitting hairs over 5 cents here? But I don't hate it. Again, if you are a garbage zombie company, not saying that that's what Bitfarms is, but if you are and all your peers are doing really well, eventually there's going to be just a relative value, right? It has nothing to do with the business, nothing to do with the future of the business. It has everything to do with the sector. So Cypher was what someone was asking me about. Yeah, looks good. I mean, anything above the cloud, that's what I like. Looks good. It's even got that URA Coinbase expanding, broadening wedge situation, right? Like this. Looks fine. The answer to the question, where could this go, is always and forever will be depth of consolidation measured higher using fibs, 19 to 33. You know, if that's your target, why not? That's an insane move. What would the target be on Bitfarms here? It looks stupid. You know, like I'm tempted to buy calls on this thing. Just that's a 2x without even trying. You know, like I don't know. It looks insane. It looks insane in a good way. BT. Yeah, I mean, a lot of these companies, even on the mining side, again, like the fundamentals, if you look at the chain right now, we look at who's paying for transactions, fees are zero. Fees are zero. The miners are mining at a heavy profit because of price, so they're benefiting from that. They're benefiting from having Bitcoin on the balance sheet because that's like the hot thing right now, right? That's the flavor of the month. They're seeing price appreciation there. And again, on a relative value basis, this stuff's starting to look more attractive. So I don't hate it. Any of these look good. I would just personally avoid cores, Hive, probably another one to avoid. I don't know. It looks okay on the daily. You know, anything above the cloud is fine. And it's been like 8-10 months. Canaan, even that has a pattern. You know, right? This is an ASIC, I think, it's ASIC manufacturer. Gree, I thought, got acquired. Fufu, I'd avoid. So like if I was looking at this group, I'd say, okay, IREN probably continues to do well, but it's moved up a bunch. Maybe I don't go full account on that one. You know, maybe I do some stupid stuff with Bitfarms just in case. Maybe I hold a basket of the others. Wolf, Clean Spark, Marathon. Not that I like buying weakness. It's just a relative value conversation again. So there's some stuff here. There's some stuff there. Grab. Yeah, looks great. Again, like there's the only issue with this stuff is this the fastest horse right now? Is this even a like in the running for fastest horse? I just feel like you have to lever this stuff up so much to get what you're looking for. You know, we're trading crypto here, right? We're trading leveraged Palantir here. Like, are you going to get what you want in this move? I don't know. Maybe buy calls. 30 to 50% move. Chart looks absolutely phenomenal. There's, you know, like, it's a great looking chart. Toast, same conversation. This chart's breaking out. Starting to. This was also in the hood conversation when we're looking for like Wyckoff accumulation. Just took a while to break out. What was the other one? I'm blanking. Grab, toast, cart. Yeah, this one I don't like as much. Still looks okay. This is Instacart. Looks okay. You just got to be careful of the diamond risk here. So like, you know, again, like, is okay good enough here? For most people, the answer is going to be no. If you're not getting 30% in a day, they're like, okay, what are we doing? You know? So maybe you wait on that one. Nubank is another one. New NU. It's a Brazilian crypto adjacent neobank. Has been very volatile. Last time I took a trade on this was mid-24, but starting to look good again. Crypto is hot. International's hot. Financials are hot. It's sort of checking all the sector boxes. Cloud likes it. Got a messy chart pattern there. Why not? Why not? 17 to 21. So if you contrast this with like Costco, like what does Costco look like right now? Death. Death. Absolute death. Inverted Adam and Eve below the daily cloud. Has had this huge run up. This is a 2x since 23. Has successfully reconsolidated like 7 times. You know, it's like, okay. Eventually there's going to be a point where the market says, that's enough for me, right? That's just too much for whatever reason. Maybe it's valuation. Maybe it's something else. But yeah, different chart. ACHR. Yeah. And again, you can see the Rocket Lab chart on this, right? So maybe the trade is like Rocket Lab, Galaxy, you know, like keep rolling it, right? Keep rolling it. Maybe you don't take full profit, but partials. I think this is in the same universe as Rocket Lab, isn't it? This is literally the dream, because the dream is you successfully identify a pattern on a chart. You size it up appropriately. It breaks out. It hits your targets. You take profit. And then as you're taking profit, beautifully, you roll it into something else that has the exact same setup, the exact same sector. And everybody else is probably thinking the same thing. They're like, oh, again, relative value. Rocket Lab. It's at infinity relative to Archer Aviation. Why not? Why not? So yeah, this chart looks great. It looks great. I just need to write this down to remind myself. so I don't forget. I use you guys. See, this people are like, why do you do streams? Why do you have anything? Why do you, this is why I do this, to crowdsource ideas. It's good to just, be out there amongst the people, looking around. It was BTBT? Was that the miner? Where is that? No, sorry. Bitfarms. BITF. No, yeah. BITF. Okay. Oklo's good. Galaxy's good. These are... It's gold, Jerry. It's gold. All right. Grab, yeah. I gotta remind myself. Okay. BTBT. We looked at BTBT, didn't we? Yeah, it looks fine. What do you want? Bullish continuation. Buy, sell, or hold. You're buying, right? Like, again, when I said this with ETH a couple days ago, if you're trading ETH at 2,500, you don't get out of bed until 4,000. What do you care? Same thing here. You want to double on this. This has been consolidating for years. If it doesn't double from here, who cares, right? So if you truly believe in whatever this is doing, doesn't matter what it is, but that's what you're going to want. You're going to want a 2x out of this. And you can justify it with the technicals based on fibs. You can say, okay, this is some sort of head and shoulders mess thing. I don't know. Sure. SBET. Oh boy. I'm too right curve for SBET personally, but I know a lot of people have been trading this on low time frame cloud stuff, and they have done exceptionally well. It's just I back to the pump.fun thing. I feel like I have no powers here on high time frame technicals because there really aren't any. But you can't deny this. I don't know how much higher this goes. You could argue 65, 63. I don't know. I literally have no idea. I have no idea. BNB, well, you kind of answered your question there, Yield Maxi. Why hasn't BNB moved much? Nobody talks about it. Kind of a chicken or the egg problem. It looks fine, but it's gone nowhere for a couple of years now. BNB will randomly do well when people are sick of trading everything else. I don't know. It just doesn't excite me. Rocket Lab, we looked at. I said the target again. You don't need me. My goal for everything forever is you don't need me to tell you, hey, this is where I think these targets are. It's always the same. I'm taking the depth, measuring it. 48 to 65 is the level. We're in it right now. How much leverage do I use? Just depends on our ETFs available, our options available. If I'm trading on DEXs, I usually use 5x. Not really more than that. Rarely, maybe once a year, twice a year, 10x, but mostly 3 to 5x. Would you go to a Coldplay concert with someone? I would not. That's funny. All they had to do was act normal, and the clip would not have gone viral if they just were normal. The clip would not have left the stadium. But the fact that they were obviously having an affair or whatever, that's why it went viral. Toast. Yeah, it looks good. We talked about this. I like Grab better, but yeah, looks good. Targets on QS. Yeah, see, this is what I'm talking about. People don't give a shit about Bitcoin. They're like, what about leveraged bonk? What do you think about that? What do you think about QuantumScape, right? That's where people are at. Now I know this is a retail stream, but again, that's the part of the market we're in right now. So enjoy it while it lasts. Good question. I should have had an alerts on this, but I didn't. Is it even in my quantum? I specifically made a quantum thing. If I have my Rivian hat on, I could say you would want this at like 32, right? Here's the pattern. Here's the depth of the pattern. 32 is reasonable. Maybe 22 to 32. Something like that. But like, this is why you're in QuantumScape. Not because you believe in quantum, not because you give a shit about the business. It's because you're seeing this, right? That's why you're here. QS was not in my bucket. Qubits looks good. Qubit looks good. IONQ, all these look fine. All these look fine. Not as good as this pre-breakout. I love seeing years of just despair. And that's what that is. Years of despair. Rivian has looked better, but I'm still holding it. Figs, same deal. Years of despair. All right, that's what I like. Absolutely. Uber looks like a bust. They just announced a $300 million something with Lucid. I think it looks fine. It's like, you know, not everything's going to go straight to infinity in a parabolic way. I'm not worried about it. It also tends to trade inverse Tesla. So if Tesla started to recover, which if I had to guess it has based on this chart, then Uber's going to turn down a little bit. What is Tesla? Hey, what did you know? What do you know? Look at me. I'm a god. Tesla has bounced from 290 to 320. So it makes sense. Just because that's how it's been trading. If we invert this, you know, again, you can see the Uber chart there. Inverse. Thanks, Tyler. Love the cloud. Thanks for your tutelage. Great, man. That's why I started this. Nobody that I was watching felt good enough as far as content. I was like, I can't just stand here and do nothing. And you got all these people charging all this money for these courses. It's like, no, you just need basic stuff. And you're going to make so much money. You're going to make all the money. ABAT. Yeah. Where were you, one fly? Where were you at $1.40, $1.25, bro? Where were you? Now all of a sudden you're telling me at 237? Disappointed. Frankly, I'm disappointed. Yeah, looks good. I mean, if you want to get crazy, like 9 to 16. If you're saying this whole thing is a W. I'm sure there's also some, if you think about harmonics, there's some like bat or something, crab. I stopped trying to pretend I knew what I was talking about with those, but there's some harmonic that would put you up there, I'm sure. But yeah, why not? Looks great. KULR. Yeah, this is another Bitcoin treasury thing. This is not SBET, you know? It's not SBET. It just looks like nothing to me. And we can look at SMLR. We can look at any of them. SMLR has started to look better. It's traded terribly. So you just got to keep that in mind. Like, this is some of the worst volatility I've seen on anything. Just ugly, brutal down days, right? So do you really want to sit in this is your question? If you're given this chart, right? You're given this chart and you're telling me you want to sit in SMLR, or you're given this chart and you're telling me you want to sit in anything else. I just, there's so many things that are working or ready to go right now. from a breakout perspective, that you got to look damn good for me to really jump in. URNM. Yeah, looks fine. Better at 38 when it broke out, but looks fine. I'd be interested to come back to this into Q4. Like let's hypothesize a speculative culling across the board. And then this gets some sort of right shoulder. Like this. So maybe I set an alert at like 43.50 or something. Just if you don't like it today. It's also funny, no one's asking me about the SPY or the Qs, right? Nobody gives a shit. It's the SPY's at all-time high, right? Like nobody cares. Nobody cares. Nor should they really. I mean, you're getting minimal percent gains on this, but it is important. You should have an opinion. Where do you think the biggest index in the world is going to go in the next week, in the next month, in the next quarter? Doesn't look bearish to me. So this is, of course, helping lift everything, including quantum, crypto, anything speculative, right? And why is this popping off? It's the liquidity problem. There's money out there that's being printed and looking for a home. We've seen this turn down a lot recently because the DXY has pulled up a lot. Also worth having an opinion there. It's looked worse. It looks okay today, but this is where you're getting that liquidity tide going out. It's because DXY is pulling up. So anyway, fib targets for coin. You don't need to ask me for the fib targets. You can just do it. There you go. It's never like, oh my God, that's a 6,000% move, right? Whatever this is, I don't even know. It's just, that's what it is. That's the number. That's based on math. That's all. So if you agree that this is a consolidation, that's where I would look. That's it. That's it. You are a Galaxy is in Mike Novogratz. That is correct. That is correct. 60 calls on Oklo. Oh man. Am I about to unretire somebody who's taking my non-financial advice? Oh, okay, so you're in the money calls. Looks good. I'm sure there are worse people in the space, but not by much. I will neither agree nor disagree with that statement. I will plead the fifth. I will plead the fifth. Bonk. I wouldn't even think about it in like fib terms. I know I just spent a diatribe. I would just say, what percent move? What do I want here that I can't get somewhere else in a percent move? Now I already had fibs on here from this W, right? Does the risk reward based on the trade setup from here make sense relative to anything else? I don't think so. Not on a fresh position. It's already moved. It's already moved 100% from the cloud breakout, and since April it's up 350%. So yeah, I get it. They're making some pump fun meme factory, whatever. Like, okay, fine. If you believe in that, then just hold it, ignore it, come back to it in 6 months and see what happens. Maybe you do a little bit of both. Maybe you trim some, maybe put some in long-term cold storage, come back later. But those are the targets. So would I trade this on 30x leverage here? Absolutely not. Would I lever up on something else that like Doge? Sure, right? Looks great. We can even do one of these where you can steal. If I can find it, Barr's pattern, right? We can do this. We can take that, move it here. Move this up. You can say, okay. There's Bonk. Here's Doge. Doge is at 22 cents. Bonk is currently at a 55-cent equivalent, roughly, on Doge. You know, this is not science. It is art. So keep that in mind. But the risk reward here on Doge makes a lot more sense to lever up than Bonk today. That's just me. They're self-dealing with Sol, more Galaxy slander. Believe it or not, this HODL hat is actually from Van Eck, because HODL is their Bitcoin ETF ticker. So that's where I got this hat. And in this alt season video, you used your crypto cloud settings, even though for also, yeah, if you ever see me using the wrong cloud, it's because I'm lazy and didn't double check. Like right now, I have the legacy cloud on. Whatever, right? It's, to me, it's close enough most of the time, but yeah, for OSOL, OSOL, which is a discounted Solana trust that may convert into an ETF, I would use the legacy cloud. I don't really think it matters, because ultimately, you know where this is at based on the pattern, based on where this has been, and you just don't want it drifting back down to 4. So just technicals on this would be like a 2x, right? Just not knowing anything about Solana or the trust or the fact that it's discounted, but that's where you'd want this to go. OBTC, also discounted. For anybody looking for cheap BTC on the cheap. Not a lot of liquidity here. Tons of volatility because there isn't a lot of liquidity. But if you think this may convert to an ETF, which it should, I don't know why it hasn't already, to be quite honest, then it's BTC at a 10% discount. It's SOL at a 15% discount, whatever it is. All right, I got to go in 10. So what else we got? How do you manage TA when daily and weekly have opposite cloud signals? BTC ETH. I guess we haven't talked about ETH BTC. I thought Ben did a good ETH BTC video today. It's funny how he's always like, ICT Ben. He's always like, you know, things look really bullish, but we could crash at any minute. It's just funny the way he frames things sometimes. So like I said yesterday in a video, ETH BTC, let me go to a different chart. ETH BTC on the daily, I like the fib target, which is 0304, something like that, basically up here. It's not going to go there in a straight line, so keep that in mind. There was a lot of congestion previously back here. You're going to have a lot of volume. Because of that, I don't need VPVR to see that. That's just where you'd expect a lot of volume. It's a little extended today, right? Is there a div on this? Another weak bearish divergence, right? Higher high, equal high in RSI. It's a weak bear div. Any higher high should always be accompanied by a higher momentum high. If you're not seeing that, then it's a bear div. So that's what this is. So that's the eventual target I like. Now the weekly is telling you, yes, this is bearish, but we've also broken the Tenkin, the blue line, past 2 weeks now. We also have a target here on the Kijun, which is the same target, right? It's 04, 03, 04, or whatever fraction of a decimal that is. That's where I'd look. So it's not trend bullish, which is, again, that thumbnail yesterday was, is this alt season? If you're familiar with that meme, the joke is that it is not a butterfly or it is not a pigeon or whatever, right? This isn't alt season. It's mean reversion season. It's the fact that this stuff got so oversold relative to its counterpart. I do think this isn't a today idea, but it is something to watch, is Sol ETH. I guess we'll go to Binance for that. What you want is a bullish divergence on this on the daily. Previously, if you look down here, if you can see this, yeah, we actually had a bullish divergence down here. You're getting lower lows in price, equal lows in RSI. That's a bullish divergence. And that bull div has gotten bulldozed, and now we are at historic lows on RSI for Sol ETH. Like, we're talking FTX exploding RSIs. So what I would want to see to rotate would be a bullish divergence on the daily or on a higher time frame. So you don't have it on the daily, you don't have it on the 12-hour, you don't have it on the 8-hour, and you can see you're getting a lower low, a huge lower low, and you're getting a lower low in RSI. So it is not a div. That's what you expect to see. 6-hour, not really. So on the 4-hour, you're starting to get it, right? You're starting to get that div. The issue with the low time frame divs is they have a low hit rate, in my experience. So I would be careful with the low time frame divs. And if you see it on the daily, which it shouldn't be hard, it should not be hard to get a div on this on the daily, because RSI is literally almost at 0. It's at 20. If you do get a lower low here, it should have a div. It may take a month, it may take 2 months, but you just got to keep watching it. I'm trying to think how you could set an alert. I guess you could set an alert at the current low for Sol ETH and then just wait. But yeah, I don't think I don't think it makes sense to rotate from ETH to Sol just yet. Not that anybody asked me about that. I have no idea about BTBT's treasury. I know they swapped allegiances, right? Link looks great. Same deal. Nothing, again, like, we are taking our W-shaped cookie cutter and we're seeing if it fits in the W-shaped cookie cutter hole. And we're saying, okay, we love the cloud. Everybody here loves the cloud. We love trend. We love chart patterns. You're not going to get something better than this. W, cloud breakout, DeFi, Genius Act, right? You can justify it however you want with fundamentals, but 25 to 30, something up there. Absolutely. Sure. Why not? Doge trades similar to this. We already looked at that one, but those two trade together. What do you think about the BM? I think anything holding ETH. So the question was, the treasury companies holding ETH, why have they rebounded? Anything holding ETH should do well if ETH does well. I think one of the charts that people are sleeping on, I didn't see anybody ask me about this, MSTR, if it's possible to sleep on MSTR. This is a chart to me that looks insane. Insane. I'm willing to be extremely wrong on this chart. It looks that insane, in a good way, again. It started to make a higher high. It's got that Rigetti pattern, right? MSTR Rigetti. If this makes a new high, that's, to me, that's like a full account long. If this is 457, you know, you want to be a part of that, is my opinion. Not professional advice, non-financial advice. This thing looks insane, incredible, absolutely incredible. Especially if, in my case, like, I caught a 50% move on ETH-U, I was trading ETH calls, right? If you're doing that sort of thing, and you're like, it's ETH BTC season, ETH is going to infinity, maybe think about MSTR a little bit if it starts to break out. Because if you've done well and caught a lot of this momentum, and you want to keep rolling it, there's some options. We talked about them today. There's plenty of options. NBIS was another one. Somebody, I think it was TrendSpider, I saw talking on Twitter. Looks great. Cup and handle all day, right? So again, if you're trading something that doesn't look ready to go, ready for a breakout, why? There's so many things. And this is like, just call it a 2x, right? What does it even matter? There's so many things that are ready. And all these will keep breaking out until the world, breaks down, right? When the SPY rolls over or whatever. All the quality stuff is on page 80 plus, says Joey. Okay, last second, we're gonna shotgun some charts. TMC looks great. Metals company, you're late on an entry here, but it looks phenomenal. Looks good. I got nothing to say. Looks like Roblox, right? ARC. Yeah, looks. I mean, those weekly candles are disgusting. Looks great. Metaplanet, I'd be careful because of the FNAV 4 is way too high. Sorry. Ondo, we talked about, looks good. Popcat, yeah, probably looks fine. BTBT, yep. Metaplanet, I just, it's not for me. I'm too right curve. If it's got a 4x nav, no. If you're trapped up here, Godspeed, soldier. They can acquire 21 million BTC, but this chart looks awful, and I talked about it for multiple weeks. Sorry. This does not look good. W at the bottom, Adam and Eve at the top. SBET I talked about looks fine. I don't know where it's going. Zeke I'm not going to talk about. I think that's all we have time for. Riot measured move. Bro, TradingView's free. TradingView's free. WIF looking good. KSI, the lithium shills are out in force in the chat. Jack, what's up? You. I think with you is it's gone nowhere for years. So, if you're like Jack and been holding this for years, you're just wrong, which, look, we're all wrong. I'm wrong every day. But yeah, looks a hell of a lot better today than it has in years. You can say that much. What's your trading style? Years of despair. All right. Unfortunately, we have to call it there. Thanks for popping in. Thanks for all the requests. There's a bunch of stuff I didn't even get to. What I'm going to try to do is pull up the stream, and then I'll have some stuff to discuss for Setup Sunday. The chat, you know what I mean? So I'll just have charts. We'll just bang them out. Bang, 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 bang.